What is that in my back? There's burning. I can't handle it. What is it? Hey y'all, it's me and Jake, Daniel from Man Massage and Spa. Today we're going to cover a condition called sciatica. A few of you may know what I'm talking about or have a parent, grandparent, friend that is currently dealing with this issue. But for those of you that are curious, I'm here to tell you and explain what goes on here. Just to make it easier for everybody, if we imagine the spine and the body as if it were a tree, we can imagine the sciatic nerve being a branch off of the tree that comes from L4 to S3 here, and it's going to go down into the buttocks area, the hamstrings, the calves, and when it reaches the calves, it branches out into these other branches that it can even go as far down as your toes. Now there are two kinds of sciatica. There's true sciatica, and then there's piriformis syndrome, which isn't really true sciatica. It just mimics it in terms of how you feel, but the common spot between these two types is that you are going to feel a tingling, numbness, and inflammation, or even like electricity in either here, and if it's not true sciatica, it's going to be here in the glutes area, and it can even go as far down as behind your hamstring, into your calf, maybe into your toes. Now, where does this come from? The true sciatica can come from if you have a bulging disc, if this canal here is beginning to become smaller, and you can imagine that as this really tiny hallway that's pushing down on this tree trunk, but all these causes have a commonality, which is they're all going to push down on this branch, which is going to cause the inflammation, tingling, and all of that. And even with this pretend sciatica, if you want to call it that, it's also going to cause tingling, the electricity feeling, numbness, but it's just going to be in the glute area, to which I've seen a lot of people in my experience say that they have sciatica, but I don't think that's the case. I think that they just maybe have tight hips. And so what would happen if you came in here into the treatment room? We would apply a myofascial release, which, to make it easy to understand, is just gently gliding over the muscle, and we're going to allow the muscle to kick us out of the spot that we're in, because if you apply too much pressure or go deep too fast, that could actually irritate this area more, causing more inflammation, more tingling. Maybe the person says, oh, hey, my leg isn't as strong as it was just a minute ago. We're going to do that. And you can also apply pressure on a specific spot or trigger point, and you're going to hold it. Then you're going to release it, do some gliding strokes, and then you're going to push it down again and ask the person, hey, does this feel just as tender as it was just a minute ago? And that's going to allow, again, the muscle to get off of the sciatic nerve, and the person may not or isn't going to feel any tingling at all. And there are a few ways that you can check. I've seen that when I turn the person over to be face up, their glute area or their back is going to push down, and normally they don't feel it anymore. However, there are extreme cases where you may have to get a procedure done to help the sciatica, but I think it's best to manage it here in the treatment room, well, because it's cheaper, and because sciatica is like an irritating bug in the room, for example. It comes and goes, and our goal here is to make sure it's managed or it's gone. And now I'm curious if you know of anything you can do at home. If you don't, that's okay. you can either get a pillow for your car if you work in an office, or for your chair to support your back here, or if you do have tight hips, otherwise known as piriformis syndrome, you can do some exercises at home or at the gym if you exercise to keep this area stretched out. That way it does not push against the tree branch coming down here, going into here. And if it happens to come into your hamstring or your calves, just be a little bit more attentive that these areas might need to be stretched out a tiny bit more than other areas in your body. If you have any questions or are curious at all, feel free to drop down a comment or contact us by other means, whether that's Instagram or Facebook, and we will get back to you as soon as we can. I hope this helped y'all. Come in. If you know anybody with sciatica, tell them to get their tingling backs here. Oh, and Jake's falling apart. Maybe he has sciatica. But if you have any questions, we're here to answer them, and we hope to see you here soon. I'll gladly take care of your sciatica. That's me and Jake for now. Bye-bye now. So here we have our client Anmol, who's got sciatica. Tell me, Anmol, how long have you been dealing with the sciatica?
Well, I had a car crash 4 years ago where I fractured my spine, and I've also been playing racket sports for the past 4 and 5 years, badminton and tennis. Since that crash, I would say I've had a mild form of sciatica, which has only gone on to become further and further painful. What it is mainly on the right side of my lower back, where my lower back would end and my leg would start right there on the joint on the right side. I feel a lot of pain. This gets worse right after I'm done playing, and the pain stays with me even when I'm sleeping in the night. So it radiates down on the side towards the edge of my knee, and that's where the pain ends.
Before you got any type of massage, is there anything that you would do on your own, or that after your crash PT told you to do to manage it?
The physical therapist gave me a bunch of exercises, but they were mainly focused towards the area where I had my fracture, towards the central spine and the lower back. I have always been into stretching, and always 3 times a week sauna at least, and also using ice packs on any affected area for pain, and that has always helped me a lot throughout this injury. But recently I've not had the time to work out a lot or do sauna or do ice packs. Yes, the pain is more at the moment.
After receiving a massage, how has the sciatica been for you, and how long has it been not as intense, or has it gone away for a few days, a day?
Every time I receive a massage, that does not completely eliminate the pain, but what it does is that it concentrates the pain to a very small region, and the pain itself, the level is very manageable to where I don't have to worry about the pain bothering me throughout the day and the night. Usually, other than the massage, what I do in the night is I like to sleep on the side where I have the pain, and I place a small pillow between my knees. That way my legs have an appropriate posture when I sleep.
Okay. And is there anything you do at home that you see helps you? Let's say you can't come in for a massage or can't get one. Is there anything you do on your own time to alleviate it?
The best thing that I would recommend, and the cheapest solution, is also to use a foam roller to target the pain area. There are a couple spots where they feel like trigger spots, where I feel like a dagger sensation, and I just like to foam roll over them. And also stretching out your back, but hyperextending, since always when we're sitting and standing we always compress our spine. We need to decompress it. Hanging or having a machine where you can lay on your stomach and just extend your spine as much as possible.
Well, thank you for giving me your experience before and after a massage and what you do.
Thank you for the massages.
So now we're going to perform a test to help us determine where the sciatica might be coming from, if it's coming from the low back or in the buttocks area. So what we're going to do is we're going to have the client be in a chair with their legs at a 90-degree angle, and we're going to put our hands here near the kneecaps on the ends, and we're going to apply pressure as they open their knees. And then after that, you're going to ask them while they were opening their knees where they were feeling it. Where were you feeling the pressure in your back, glutes, the knees?
Definitely towards my lower back, not even my glutes, even above that. Definitely on the right side of my lower back.
And this test, the reason why we do it and we ask is to help us determine where it's coming from and where we can target and be as accurate as we can be during the treatment process. Hey guys, it's me, Daniel, again. There's no Jake, he broke his leg. But we're still on sciatica, and we've got a client here on the table. And just so you guys can get a better idea of where the sciatica comes from, it comes from here in this general area where the nerve branches out from, and it's going to go here into this muscle here, the piriformis. It's going to go down here. Depending on the client, they might feel it on top of the hamstring, going around the hamstring, on the outer edge of the hamstring. Then it branches out into a few other branches here, like the common peroneal nerve and the tubular nerve. And in a few other cases, it may even go down into feet and as far as the toes. So how can we help a client who comes in who is having sciatica that is coming down from the low back into the outer hamstring area? We can begin with some myofascial release, but before that, we're gonna want to do some effleurage, maybe like this, just to prepare the muscles. That way we can do our deeper techniques. And while you do this, you're always gonna wanna check in and ask the person, hey, how's the pressure?
I'm fine with the pressure.
And then you're gonna want to go in chunks, which is what I would do. I would begin here and then kind of begin to work my way down to go with the path. And that way I don't have to go back up. Now that we are going to do our myofascial release, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go against the spine here. And it's almost like you're opening a book or trying to get the meat off the bone. You can just push and pull, and you're going to apply pressure, but you're going to want the muscle to push you out of the location. So I'm just kind of holding it, and you can see my hand is kind of gliding, but I'm not putting any force behind that. That's all the muscle in the back is pushing me out of the way. Even throw in your forearm, not the pointed part of your elbow, but you can kind of go like this. You can go like this and go down. And then after you've completed here, that's when you can go and do bracing. And because this particular person is feeling it on the outer edge of their hamstring, we're gonna do some really quick draping, and we can put their leg kind of like that. And now you have access to the area that is being agitated, which is this whole area here. And again, we're going to begin with our effleurage. And again, check in on the pressure, because this is where your IT band is. And for most people, it's extremely tight and it's extremely tender. I can only imagine adding on to that agitation of having a compressed nerve coming down the IT band area.
The pressure's fine.
Thank you. And again, we can do our myofascial release, where you just apply pressure and have the muscle kick you out of the way. Any massage techniques regarding sciatica here at Man Massage and Spa. However, I would say always communicate between you and your therapist and feel open to tell them, hey, this isn't working, this is working. Do more of XYZ technique, because we here at Man Massage and Spa are here for you and to collaborate with you and give you the best treatment we can, so you can come out of here feeling a better, and so we can be the massage destination for you.